I'm like a young Bill Kazmaier, swollen from the juice, prima bowling in my hemoglobin, chiefing on the spruce, rocking all white silk.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome to Rock Review. Today we're going to be talking about Avengers Endgame and all the new spoilers that have been coming out. People guessing what's going to happen, you know, deaths just like last year with Infinity War. So we're just going to discuss it and see what about our thoughts and what's going to happen. So if you guys want to introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Luke. That's my name.
Hi, I'm Rob, and it's Monday, so yeah.
Alright guys, so everybody knows that Chris Evans, his contract is not going to be is up in his tweet. This is why I think he's going to die, because he made that heartfelt tweet. It's like, oh, it's a great time, blah 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 blah. And you can have like you could say that they're both Iron Man and Cap are gonna die, which very well could be true. But I just feel like it's gonna be Cap because of the tweet, and that's kind of like my biggest. I feel like he pretty much said, "Yeah, I'm gonna die," and then he got in trouble for it, and then he had to delete the tweet.
Yeah, I don't disagree, but I don't think he'll be gone forever. Even if he I don't think he's gonna die personally, but even if he does die, I don't think he'll be gone forever. You know what I mean? Like, because it's Marvel, they bring everyone.
But they
back.
said that they said something about, well, you know, but they could have been backtracking. That's the thing about Marvel is they've gotten so sneaky. There's rumors that the white suit scene in the new trailer is fake.
Yeah.
Which I said that during the last trailer. I go, I don't care about the trailers because I don't believe them.
That's true.
You put a Hulk in the last trailer. You pretty much just fuck you. We're gonna lie to you, and you're still gonna watch. You're still gonna buy 4 tickets to this fucking movie.
Yeah.
And
So,
they're right. They won. They can lie to our faces.
I think we're gonna lose Cap, and I'm putting that in parentheses because it could be like he's in the past or like whatever they end up doing with time travel or multiverse theory, but also just the fact that it's in the comics. That it's kind of set in stone. Like we all know. If you're a comic book fan, you know, like we're gonna lose him. Assuming
he dies, who's taking the mantle? Falcon or Bucky? Probably Bucky.
Honestly, I don't think they'll give the mantle to anyone. I don't think Sam's gonna want it, and I don't think the world would be like, all right, cool, you were a super assassin for like 70 years, but welcome to your new mantle. Like, I think that they'll take on bigger roles in the superhero community. Like, I mean, as in the MCU, I think they'll be more important going forward. Like, they are getting their own series on Disney Plus, but I don't think they're going to take the mantle necessarily.
That's actually a great point. That's why there's no way they can do it. They're not going to have a show them together. One's going to be Cap. So yeah, you're probably right. There probably is going to be none.
Well, I mean, you also got to take into consideration that, in essence, Cap dropped the mantle of Captain America when he went rogue in Civil War. He kind of dropped the mantle already, so there's not really. And he's always going to be Cap, but like you don't need a Captain America because even he shed that because it wasn't what he stood for anymore.
I think he picks that back up with the shield, though, as we saw in the trailers.
But
again, the trailers.
Black Panther just puts a star in his chest and he's Captain Black Panther.
Captain Wakanda.
See the fanboys like literally spontaneously combust because that would be interesting.
What else are they saying? I don't know what's gonna happen in this movie because everything changes. Like they're like it's 100% time travel. It's gonna be time travel, and then now everyone's like, nope, just doubt it. Not gonna be. It's like.
But it kind of has to be.
I mean, I think it's quantum realm stuff, but I think that's like also like okay, but that's like also kind of time travel.
Yeah.
Well, the Russo brothers came out and they said you guys got too good at guessing. So we have to lie to your face. It's pretty much what they said. Yeah. Who knows if any of that trailer is even real?
Yeah, I think it's a whole big mystery.
And tell me somebody who's going to complain. If you don't see one scene in any of those trailers, tell me you're going to complain. You're not. No. So they can literally spit in your face, and you're going to be like, "Thank you for making this movie. I really appreciate it."
Yeah, like during one of the Russo's interviews, the Russo brothers, they were talking about. The one of them said, I went to go see The Phantom Menace, or it was a Star Wars film. Mm-hmm. And he's like, I went into it not even seeing the trailer, and I was very shocked with like what went on. I was very shocked with what I saw, and like I was surprised instead of watching the trailer where it usually gives away half what happens in the movie. You can basically piece it together. So they said what they wanted to do with the trailer was a complete misdirect, so that you're still excited when you see the movie. You're still surprised. There's still that feeling.
I mean, I hope so, because I remember like seeing Endgame or Infinity War, and like they're like, oh, we're not telling even the cast like what really happens in this movie. They just do their scenes and that's done, and like blah blah blah, and like you'll never be able to guess the plot. But it's like, all right, like it was pretty obvious what was going down. Like yeah, the ending was a big surprise in Infinity War, but like. You knew, like, okay, this team is on Titan, this team's in Wakanda, this team is doing this, and Thanos wants this, and, like, you understood the plot immediately, so I don't know if it was just, like, a misdirect they were trying to do from saying that about the trailers, and about the movie as a whole, and to the actors and stuff, but it was pretty self-evident.
I do think the story's going to be, it's not going to be the same, because, like you said, the other one had different separate groups, what's going on, and now they're all gone, so it's going to be, like, a very much of Avengers 1 type movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
the core
come together.
Yeah, is going to do it, and that's why I'm like curious about Tony in space and when he's gonna come back and at what point.
I think he comes back pretty early on. I mean, that's the feeling I get.
He probably jerry rigs it. He probably gets back.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird because they said the whole thing's weird because they said what's his face said he's like it's only the first 20 minutes.
Kevin Feige.
Yeah, but you see Black Widow's hair. 15 different shades, different lengths. So it's like I don't even. Is her hair that different in the first 20 minutes?
Yeah, is there that much like time
jump?
Gone by?
That's why you just really can't go off the trailer. You just really can't. Mm-hmm. But like, if you had to like actually theorize what you think is going to go down in like a small synopsis.
Captain Marvel should get handed it. You know, should get beat up. If she comes in this movie and just like saves the day, I'm gonna be so aggravated because this is not her movie.
They're not gonna do that though. They wouldn't do that.
No.
I think the Russos like I think the Russos like they're too smart to do that. They're not just gonna invite like a whole new character that's been introduced like within the past like literally month and a half, and then just have her like take someone off the chessboard. You know what I mean? Like yeah, she's gonna be effective and help, but you know I think she'll do just as well as maybe. Like Doctor Strange did again. Like they're gonna have a cool battle scene. We'll respect that character, even though we weren't a huge fan of their movie. And we'll be like, okay, this person's like valuable, and their world is valuable in this universe against the fight against like Thanos. But I don't think she's gonna just come in and just be like, I got it, guys. Like it's not gonna be like Superman in Justice League.
Yeah,
you know
I really
what I mean?
hope not.
I really don't think they'll do that. But
what do you think about the theory about them making their own stones?
I don't know how possible that is, because you know
with the quantum realm.
Remember, like they're like Wong's like explaining it in the beginning of Infinity War. He's like, there was a singularity, and then the 6 stones came from like all these like whatever, and it just doesn't seem like a plausibility.
Well, you said during the Big Bang and like when creation. What if they go so far back in time they go to the Big Bang and get the original? That'd be mind blowing.
That would be kind of cool.
I hope Wong's in
out there.
Oh, he's in it. Yeah, he's in the. You see his name in the lower thing.
But what do you mean by like making their own? So you mean like going back to like past events and getting the stones before Thanos?
People said that, and then people said like
because
make
that
their own actual version, like make their own, like not go steal an old one in a different time period.
But like, how do you do that?
I don't know.
You don't just you can't. Like they're the 6 singularities. Like.
Yeah, I mean movie magic, you know.
I just don't like straying that far from the comics. Like that's way too out there.
I mean, they're gonna go in the quantum.
I know, like there could be like another gauntlet, but like manufacturing your own stones, that's different. It might be bouncing through time and collecting the stones, but then again, that gives you the whole Marty McFly like effect where it screws up the future. So then that screws up all the timelines.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'll like, because we've seen the stones in like how many of the movies now, so that'll like redo like all of those effects.
You think that's you think that's the whole for X-Men and Fantastic Four? I
don't know how it would be really. I'm trying.
This movie might not have anything. Like everyone's assuming that like there's gonna be something there that's gonna. But legal, I mean, unless they're doing it illegally,
they can't.
I mean, who knows? Behind the scenes, they could have been like, listen, sign this piece of paper before we sign the big paper that I can start. Because it's going to happen, so just let me just start doing it now. That's the only way if Kevin Feige did
I
that.
think it's going to be hard going forward. Like, I think you might have brought up the topic to me, like, how they could introduce, like, oh, all of a sudden mutants exist, like, out of nowhere. It could be something around the lines of, like, how Scarlet Witch got her powers from the Mind Stone.
They retconned her.
Yeah, it awakened something within her.
Exactly, and they also, what's her face from the Quantum Realm, Hank Pym's wife.
Oh, Jeanette Van Dyne.
Yeah.
Evolved.
Yeah, so she, like, evolved, and, like, it might be something like that where they go so microscopic or whatever, quantum, and it screws with Geno, and then that sparks a whole new generation of heroes.
Or they could make, like,
blah, blah, blah,
they
blah.
could try to lure, like, Thanos and have, like, a quantum bomb. And this quantum bomb, they're like, oh, it's not going to affect anyone, just him. It's gonna, and then it hits the world, and then everyone's like, oh, that's weird. I got hit with some weird radiation, and now I'm the Archangel from X-Men. I got huge wings on my back.
Yeah, I mean that'd be interesting.
He's kind of
There's
a
so many
useless
different
character.
ways. Or they could just try to close out the original Avengers and just not even force any more back. We're talking about what?
Talking about Endgame, you were
We were talking about the mutants.
Yeah, how they could be
introduced. And I was saying, after these past 20 plus years, or 20 plus movies, 11 years, whatever it's been, I feel like you need to end what we've started. Because especially the people who go back to the comics and like the canon stuff, I feel like in the comics, those characters played roles together, like Mr. Fantastic, Tony Stark, like from the Fantastic Four, the mutants, like Xavier, like Wolverine. They all played like a pivotal role together, and like to not see those characters together, in a sense, would be a shame. But at the same time,
They're gonna hand off it though.
Yeah, but
don't forget it could still work. I mean, think back to the early 2000s X-Men, and then Deadpool and Logan. And then even Spider-Man and some other good comic book movies that worked well without the whole rest of the universe. And it's like great that they're all coming together, but at the same time, like actors do want to move on. And Chris Evans does like want to move on, kind of. Although he said like, "Oh, I want to be Captain America forever," but like we've heard that from actors before in different roles. But
I mean, it's gonna be the same formula. It's just gonna be. Doctor Strange instead of Tony Stark is going to be the quick, smart one.
Yeah.
That's Black Panther's. I think there's I think comic books on Marvel whatever on Twitter posted that picture of it. Black Panther's probably going to take more of a Cap role. Who knows? They might separate, and then there could be the Avengers, and there could be the Illuminati, and then you still see Captain America. He might just retire. And then you're just not going to see. He might not die. He might do that, but I'm not going to be in a lot of movies because I'll be. We could be completely wrong. Nobody could die.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then that cheapens it for me.
Yeah.
I understand it's Disney. It's supposed to be kid friendly, but
I mean,
how much killing can you do?
But what they've created, and they're calling this endgame. This is a pivotal moment.
Because it's going to be a new chapter after this.
But alright.
I mean, it's ending the Infinity Saga.
You have Captain America die. Okay, good movie. You have both Tony Stark and Captain America die. Greatest movie of all time. Greatest series of all time. Greatest everything. They go down as the greatest.
Just because they die?
I don't think they have to be the greatest.
Because of the storyline. Could you imagine the emotions that would trigger? Just from it started from them. It started 10 years ago, 11 years ago.
It's definitely in
Iron Man 1. Just that I don't want to see it happen, but if you're talking about great movies, could you imagine from freaking 2010 or 2008 it was, right? 2008 it came out, yeah, 2008. And then just to see the man who started it all just like go down in a blaze of glory, that wouldn't make you feel.
It'd be a good way to send them off, but just I don't know. Personally, I'd be like, I'd rather still have them around.
Yep.
I'd rather them survive and they undo everything, and then I get to see them in an Illuminati, or I get to see him do this. I get to see him do like.
What do you think of the theory that Tony might upload his consciousness to a like a hard drive or something of that kind to keep they can keep Robert Downey Jr. still around, like through his voice or
he just doesn't
through
have to play
simulation,
a physical role.
Yeah,
he gets to play. Yeah.
Or I mean, he could take over, like he could be AI basically, but like his
kind of like his
consciousness.
AI.
Yeah, I mean that there's precedence for it. In the
actually.
there is that happens in the comics.
Ooh, I like that.
I really think
like
Avengers Endgame is gonna end on Tony Stark and Pepper's wedding. I think they're gonna end it on a high note, and I think Cap does die, and I think they ended on that. And he named, she's pregnant, and he names his first child Steve or something like that. And then because they kept on saying they're like every Avengers film has a scene where it's everybody. True. And I think that's the everybody scene.
What remember? Yeah, that was like I think it was Sebastian Stan who was saying, "Oh, we had a scene with Hank Pym as well as the Ancient One, but the Ancient One."
Who said this?
This is that guy who plays Bucky, Sebastian Stan.
Yeah.
But like he might have just been, because he's known to just kind of talk out of his ass sometimes. But like, like what if it's not like a giant like battle scene? It's like literally a wedding.
Yeah.
Not that.
Well, I'm sure there is a battle scene. Like, there's that one scene where you see Ant-Man jumping off the eraser, which everyone's speculating that's like they're gonna go to Titan and like guns blazing, and that's gonna be the first fight. There's gonna be another fight.
But
down
the
there.
pencil doesn't make sense. The pencil drew people to believe that it was happening at the Avengers HQ.
The thing about the Russo brothers, everything is a
That's why we can't go off the trailer. We just can't go off the trailer.
Mm-hmm. No. I mean, half the fun of being a Marvel Cinematic fan is speculating.
Oh no, I love it.
Like, I don't watch these YouTube clips of everybody. This is gonna happen because I believe them. Because it's fun. It's fun to hear what other people are taking. That's the whole point. We're even doing this. It's just because, like I said, that's half the fun of being a Marvel fan. It's yes, the movies is your bread and butter, but it's the BSing about it. So I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, how many YouTubers are right? Who really guesses? Like, Infinity War, nobody guessed.
Nobody guessed that. Nobody. Remember the video that we did? The video we did. I don't think we got any right. I don't think we got. I have
Loki.
to go.
Everybody was like, Loki's dead. Which he was.
Yeah, he died before like the title card came out.
Yeah, which that sucks.
R.I.P. But he'll be back in his own
Captain
series.
Marvel though, like a lot of people got right. Like a lot of the.
What do you mean?
A lot of the people I watch, like they nailed it to a T. Like, oh, this is probably gonna happen. This is probably gonna happen. All based off what we saw in the trailer, and it's basically exactly what happened. There was some surprise.
Well, Captain Marvel was it was the same as Black Panther. It was like, even though Black Panther, everyone said the best comic, blah 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 blah, won award. It was like okay, Avengers please. Yeah. Okay, I'm here to see the after credit mostly, and I'm waiting for April.
And that's why I disliked it.
It's
because I've been waiting for Endgame.
It's no fault to the movie.
I didn't care that much that like I was like, all right, yeah, I want to see Endgame over this, but like I hope this is a great movie, but I just didn't think Captain Marvel. I think it lacked a certain like vibrance and color that like a cosmic movie should have, like the Guardians movies or like Doctor Strange wasn't that great either. Like I don't think, but it still had some cool, vibrant stuff to it.
Yeah.
Like Ragnarok had some cool stuff to it. A lot of these movies have like a certain flavor and style to them. I think Captain Marvel kind of needed a taste of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it lacked a whole lot, and the plot was kind of predictable, and then the dialogue wasn't all that great. And that was like no fault of the actress, no fault of whatever. It just wasn't that great of a movie.
They didn't spend like any time on like the Kree homeworld at all. There was like one scene on the train, and then she goes and meets with the Supreme Intelligence, and like that's about it. And we both agreed we hated the fact that it was like the Avengers initiative was after her middle.
Oh my god! It was like, give her all the credit. Why don't you?
Yeah,
it was so cheesy.
That's why it bothered me so much, and that's why I don't necessarily want to see it in Endgame.
It's because the acting, I feel like,
The acting
She's
got-
like, "Oh, I'm a tough girl. And it's
No
just like
warrior heroes.
she should. Yeah, it's like she should have been more lighthearted. And then they made Samuel Jackson like the lighthearted one.
Yeah.
He should have been the hard one.
He should have been the hard
In every movie,
Yeah.
he's been the hard one.
Yeah, he
It's
was
like,
like- soft
he
one
was
all
like
the
a
time.
comedic relief, which was like nice to see from him, like as an actor. But like he's been funny in other movies without like losing his like badassness, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I hated the fact that like that line in The Winter Soldier was so dope when he was like, "The last time I trusted someone, I lost an eye," and then like it was like the flirting. It was the flirting.
The
I don't
fucking
know. That was like one of the reasons why you went to go see that movie.
named
Yeah.
Goose.
It was more like a after credit.
Yeah.
How did he lose his eye? And it was like the after credit like was like 5 seconds long.
Mhm.
Honestly, well, I mean, they're not gonna. What did you expect? They're not gonna give you much.
Yeah.
And then the eye thing, I was like, really? Like, you just killed it.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
like ultimate trolling on their part. 'Cause everybody was like, "How did he lose it? Is he a Skrull? Who knows?" And then it was just like,
I never
cat.
thought he'd be a Skrull.
I don't like the Skrull.
I'm going to be
theory even being
pissed
part
off
of it.
if anyone's a scroll.
Me too.
Yeah,
I'll be
yeah.
very
I feel
disappointed.
like it's so
Just for the sake
Yeah.
of that movie.
Exactly. That's why I just feel that movie was unneeded. It creates a rift in the timeline, especially with the Tesseract. I don't like the fact that you see.
I thought about that a bit more, and I understood it. Even though I didn't like that they did that because it just makes it like muddled. I understand.
I understand
how
it
works.
gave her powers technically by default, sort of.
Yeah.
It was the engine exploding, but the engine ran on the Tesseract power. So yes,
Mm-hmm.
but it doesn't make sense with like Tony Stark finding it, or no, Tony Stark's dad, Howard Stark finding it in the
40s.
ice.
But
And
okay, so
then
Shield had a
all of
hold
a
of it.
sudden-
She was probably working.
This
Marvel
undercover
was
Kree-
working for Shield, and then so she had access to the Tesseract.
But I don't think Pegasus was a part of Shield
It was a
until
part.
after that movie.
It was, I think Fury said when they got there, it's a subset of Shield. That's why they were allowed.
But they wouldn't even let him in. Remember, like he was like
When?
agent of Shield. Like when they go to the base
That
to
was
try and
Pegasus, wasn't it?
well, she called it Operation Pegasus. Marvel. Marvel said she was working on Operation Pegasus, and then when you first see Loki in Avengers, the Avengers film,
Yeah,
they
Pegasus.
adopted the name Pegasus because they're using the Tesseract. But what happened in between Howard Stark finding it in like the 40s, 50s, whatever it was?
Shield had it.
But she wasn't a part of S.H.I.E.L.D. She was just a Kree person who showed up on Earth. Marvel, I'm talking about. It was just some random Kree person who showed up on Earth.
She
was
worked
a
her way through the
Skrull,
ranks like
yeah.
anything else.
But how did she get it away from S.H.I.E.L.D. and bring it onto a freaking spaceship that nobody knew about? Especially people a part of S.H.I.E.L.D. It doesn't make any sense. There's just that timeline rift that I don't like. Like, how did a Kree person just show up on Earth, act like everything was normal? Because
There's got to be a reason. There's no way. That's a pretty big plot hole.
that's why I don't like it.
I only saw the movie once, so I'd have to.
I always
see
saw
it.
it was.
I'm
I don't know
very,
what
I
it
probably
was.
will
I'm
only
very
see it.
analytical about these things. But it's just like that really bothered me. I don't like that plot hole at all.
Yeah.
You heard? Have you heard about the conspiracy about the Captain Marvel movie? How they're saying #1 movie, whatever, and then there's just all these.
Of S.H.I.E.L.D. It doesn't make any sense. There's just that timeline rift that I don't like. Like, how did a Kree person just show up on Earth, act like everything was normal? Because
There's got to be a reason. There's no way. That's a pretty big plot hole.
that's why I don't like it.
I only saw the movie once, so I'd have to.
I always
see
saw
it.
it was.
I'm
I
very
don't know, I
analytical.
probably will only
I'm very
see it.
analytical
Yeah.
about these things. But it's just like that really bothered me. I don't like that plot hole at all.
Yeah.
You heard? Have you heard about the conspiracy about the Captain Marvel movie? How they're saying #1 movie, whatever, and then there's just all these videos of just empty movie theaters,
Really?
and people have been like, nobody's buying these tickets. They're just saying that because they're just trying
It's
to
not
amp
the
her
number
up.
one movie.
Really?
Yeah, there's like
I mean,
it's
it
like a
did
big
break box
conspiracy.
office.
Yeah, but that's a conspiracy. It didn't. It didn't sell.
Yeah.
First off, I saw that midnight
Maybe it was
premiere.
like #1 movie for like a day.
I saw it on
Not
midnight
like-
premiere only because on Thursday I was watching trailers at work and I was like, I wonder if they sold a lot of midnight tickets. And I went there and I was like, oh, the entire theater's open? Shut off.
It's okay. We can keep talking. Still got the audio.
Still do have the audio.
It is a podcast after all.
Yeah, we can cut it if you want.
the video.
Or just play it. Just play it.
And I'll just put slideshows for the rest of it.
It's still going. Sorry.
But and then like
decide to just use them.
open tickets.
Really?
I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll go. I got nothing to do on this Thursday, and then that's why I think that conspiracy is real because Brie Larson sucked.
I really didn't like her.
It's just it's
I didn't
weird
like
to me
her in that at all.
because she got Best Actress at the Oscars. Like she is a good actress. It's just like weird that she lacked like.
Be right back. You guys continue this.
Okay. I don't know. I mean, I know like I while I understand like what people are saying with like why they don't like it, I still try to like defend like because I didn't like Black Panther at all, and so I'm thinking about it in the same vein. Like while I didn't like Black Panther, I didn't think the acting was all that great. I didn't think the script was all that great. I didn't think the effects were all that great. I didn't think people were bumping it up a whole lot for a lot of reasons, which I think it deserved to be bumped up for certain reasons. Like the Oscar that it won for Best Costumes, I absolutely think it deserves because of the culture behind it and everything. But as a movie, just a movie, not a political statement, just like Captain Marvel, I did not think it was a great movie. But the addition to the universe, I saw it as valuable. You know, they had the biggest battle in Wakanda, in Infinity War. And while, yeah, it was just kind of like the battle there, but Shuri was also there helping Vision. And, like, she was, like it or not, the person that was working on him and was able to work on him with the brain that she has and everything. So I'm taking it from that standpoint. Like, I'm trying to see the value in it. I'm trying to play devil's advocate and be like, okay, it wasn't that great of a movie. But at the same time, there is stuff that we can take from it. And I'm sure that Kevin Feige and the Russos are taking plot points from it and they're going to use it, put it in the blender, and shoot it out. And we'll be like, oh, that really worked really well. I mean, they did the same thing with, you know, Tony Stark. He became a lot more compelling as a character under the Russos' watch. Same with after Taika Waititi and the Russos worked with Thor, and then even Cap through 1, 2, or 2, 3, and now the Avengers movies. Like I think they really have a hold on these characters. I think once she's handled with them a little bit, it'll be like oh wow, Captain Marvel really is shining in the cinematic universe. I think that's what'll happen, but I don't know. I mean, what do you think their hands on that character will make it better to watch? Or
I mean, the one point I wanted to bring up, and I really wanted to bring this up to Ant, but I could bring it up again, but is yes, I agree with everything you're saying, and like especially with like Black Panther, like it was an okay movie. Was it pivotal? It ended up being a pivotal place and moment, like, or you know, with Shuri trying to help extract the Infinity Stone from Vision's head, but it's one of those. Okay, that happened before Infinity War, which is a big event. Infinity War was technically part one of a 2-part thing, where now they technically. I'm just saying. I don't think they should have established her now, because they had time to establish him. Black Panther through Civil War, then his standalone, then of course the battle took place in Wakanda.
Right.
So then it didn't have to take place there. Like if the movie never came out, they could have done it freaking anywhere. They could have did it in space. They could have did it anywhere. But what I'm saying is they had time to establish that with this movie, and that's why I'm having such a hard time getting over it. Is it was just the wrong timing.
Yeah.
It was like I didn't need her to be brought in. Like, yes, they can go somewhere after these next couple of movies and bring her in and make sense of it. But to do that right before one of the most important movies to date, like probably the most important movie to date.
To a lot of people, yeah.
To a lot of people. Yeah, that bothered me. Like, that really...
And I can't disagree with that. Like, it does kind of take away from the gravity of, like, these
core characters.
These core characters have been around for the past... Most of them for the past, like, 11 years. And, like, a couple of them, like Nebula and, like, Rocket, for the past... What is it now? Like, almost 6 years, you know? Like, a lot of these characters are so important. So bringing in someone new like that, especially with kind of not such a great outing as their first outing. So close to one of the most pivotal, important movies to a generation of people.
Yeah.
Because I don't know about you, I've been seeing these movies since they came out in theaters.
Oh my god.
I saw the first Iron Man.
I think Iron Man literally changed my life.
Oh, absolutely.
It just made everything so much more fun.
It was incredible. So for that, it kind of takes away. We got to see it. We got to see the movie, obviously, because we're hating beforehand. But I really think that.
But I'm also not hating on Endgame. I'm just hating on Captain Marvel.
Yeah, don't blame the character. Blame the studio.
Yeah,
I trust the studio.
Yeah, I'm blaming the movie.
I think that's why I defended. I defended.
I think she's gonna be more of a novelty in Avengers.
Yeah.
Endgame.
So what I was saying was he brought up the point Black Panther wasn't the best movie in the world. He didn't think it was one of his top tier movies, whatever. But what's it called? He said Wakanda came in to Infinity War and played a very big role in it, where that's where they ended up fighting the Chitauri and Thanos and all that.
I think the quantum realm,
Outriders.
the quantum realm will be the same significance as
but hear me out. So that's what he was saying about we're comparing it to Captain Marvel. So Captain Marvel, I'm just saying, so they established Black Panther in Civil War. That's where he first showed up. And then you got some character building there. They killed his father off. You started to see who he was. Then they went into an actual movie where they explained how he got his power, the rankings, stuff like that, what went down in Wakanda. Okay? Then it played a pivotal point in Infinity War where they had the battle. Shuri was trying to remove the Infinity Stone from Vision's head. But then, that didn't have to happen. So say they never introduced him, they could have had that battle with Thanos literally anywhere. You could have had it in space, you could have had it in Wisconsin, whatever. So what I'm saying about Captain Marvel is it just doesn't make sense right now, especially with Endgame being the next movie. Yeah, it didn't need to be a movie in the first place. It just didn't have to be there because it's opening these plot holes. It's introducing a new character that's just unneeded. Where, yes, they introduced more of Black Panther in, so you could actually know the character. Where she just appears, and you're just okay, what? I don't need her playing a role in the most.
They needed. You lost all your big guns. I feel like you had to replace them with one.
Did you?
Yeah.
Did you? Thor's there.
Thor got a huge power upgrade.
Yeah, and Tony made him bleed. Tony made granted, Tony's kind of MIA, but
it's just do you expect them to win with less? It's you had to give them something.
But they weren't together, and I think that's a point.
But the crews were
the core Avengers weren't together. And then when you see those core Avengers together again, you're going to be and then Captain Marvel's going to be there, and I'm just going to be
Well, you're adding an Ant-Man.
But what I was saying about the Captain Marvel thing, I just wish it came after Endgame. It just doesn't... I don't want it right now. I don't need it right now.
You could have done without her.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You really could have done without it.
I like that she's in it. I could have done without the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But what else would you have put there?
I wouldn't have.
You had no movie? It could be a marketing ploy, it could just be for money. You could have done nothing. After Spider-Man Homecoming, they said they're done for a full year. You're not gonna see nothing.
I don't know about that.
Well, there's that secret movie. There was supposed to be a slot there, and I think Guardians 3 was supposed to go there. Yeah. But they still have that slot open.
I think they're gonna have a huge, they did a couple of years ago. They're gonna have a huge slate. He's gonna do a whole big announcement thing, when they announced Civil War and Ragnarok, Doctor Strange, Captain Marvel, Infinity War at the time, Part 1 and Part 2. I think they're gonna do that after Far From Home comes out.
Whatever happened at the end of Endgame has to set up the restart of all new phases. They're not even called phases anymore. They said it's gonna be called whatever else. The movie's has to end in some type of something big. Got to happen. That's got to change the MCU for history, and then they're gonna have to build up, and they're gonna have to, have another 3 or 4 Avengers film,
and that's where they should have put Captain
I mean, what
you could have put her in that one.
what like top tier characters like right now from the original Avengers do you think are gonna move on to this next iteration of the MCU?
Thor, 100%.
Thor definitely.
I mean, Black Widow's got that solo movie, but I think it's a prequel.
I think it's a prequel. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever.
Are you excited for that?
I wish it was rated R.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
If they would have made it rated R and like Russian spy, kind of like.
Kind
of like Angelina Jolie in Salt. That movie Salt. You ever seen that one?
I mean, I'd be more excited about a Hawkeye, Black Widow movie.
Yeah.
It's her herself is
Like
like
buddy. Like
Yeah.
almost buddy cops, but like
If they made
It's a guy and a girl.
if they announced like a solo Gamora movie, I'd be so down for that. Imagine like her like alien assassin like going through the galaxy like doing good stuff. But like I think Black Widow is too much like a yeah, she like was like a Soviet spy and all this
but
stuff.
she
she's a
can
normal...
hold off Proxima Midnight now. That scene bothers
Or
me
if they
too.
announced like a Scarlet Witch movie, a Vision movie, but they're already doing it.
Oh,
Like,
this is a
series.
TV show.
I'm trying to think of a female to make it sound like we don't. It's not like we're against like solo female movies. That's not the thing
No.
at all. I'm thinking of a compelling female character that we could get behind as like, a
Scarlet
film.
Witch and Viz.
but
Freaking
solo,
like romance.
but like solo without like a male
Rom-com?
support.
Right.
Yeah.
It'd be amazing.
I mean, whatever happens, as you can't even guess. They have to set up the entire future. They have to find some way for X-Men. They're not gonna. The reason they stopped doing Inhumans because they probably heard down like, oh, we're gonna get the X-Men. All right, you can put that crap Inhumans TV show over there. Forget that we even made it
Yeah.
because now we have the X-Men. So there's no way they're not gonna put a hole in there for it. Even if it's a, it's kind of crazy to do it as an after credit. When people say, oh, it'll be an after credit. That's a big after credit.
I think they're gonna introduce Fantastic Four before X-Men.
I bet you there's no after credit.
Let's not forget Adam Warlock too. Like they really need to.
I don't think
him.
that. I don't think they're gonna put a lot of eggs in that basket.
But like, why even?
Adam
why
Warlock
even
should have
put him
been
in
Captain
there?
America.
Yes. Well, no, Captain. He should have took the place of Captain Marvel.
That's what I said.
I thought you said Captain America.
No, I didn't mean. If
Okay,
I did, I
Captain
didn't mean to.
Marvel.
He should have. That
Yes,
should have been
yes,
Captain Marvel.
Yes. See, I would have been
agree.
so okay because they established him. If he would have just showed up, I would have been like, all right. And again, now I still sound sexist. But.
Guardians. the Guardians 2 should have been an Adam Warlock movie to set up for. It shouldn't have been Ego, Living Planet. Like I wasn't.
Yeah, I agree.
I hated Guardians 2 when I first saw it. It was my least favorite Marvel movie of all time.
Yeah.
I didn't mind it.
And well, we stopped even recording that, but it grew on me after a while. I watched it a couple times, and I was like, okay, it's not terrible, but it should have been an Adam Warlock movie.
I think what they wanted to do was just introduce the Eternals.
The idea of the Eternals.
The idea of the Eternals.
But it's just like,
And
make him super powerful. He's gonna be a god, and
he
for
dies.
5 minutes, and now
And he's dead.
now he's normal, like Star Lord.
Oh yeah, Star Lord.
So you gave him ultimate
Yeah.
power, and then you're like, just kidding. He's gonna ruin Infinity War.
I mean, when you think about like useless characters, like Star Lord without his powers. I mean,
Well,
Watch this. Who's it by? It's
Guardians
it's called
is the
The
Legends of
Ultimate
Tomorrow of the Marvel universe. It's the Legends of Tomorrow. Guardians is kind of like, I don't know if you watch Legends of Tomorrow in the CW.
It's okay.
It's like you're not big enough to have your own show, guys, all together to have your own, to have a group show. It's like, well, you could sell me on a group Rocket solo movie.
Oh, absolutely.
You could sell me.
oh
on
hell
that.
yeah! But it was funny
You
because
could
like
sell me on a Star Lord solo movie. Could you? Would you guys?
I'd rather see a solo Gamora movie.
I don't even want to see a Star Lord and Gamora movie.
No,
There's at least two. I don't even care about Drax.
No.
Really, Guardians. It's
I just
it's
love Dave
Rocket.
Bautista.
It's Rocket and
Groot. Yeah.
Besides that, it's like you can put anyone else on
The
there.
two most obscure characters. So obscure.
CGI.
No, but
Two
see,
only
like
CGI.
I loved Guardians, like the first Guardians.
The first one's great.
It was funny because when me and my girlfriend went from the beginning, so we started on Iron Man, obviously, and then like went through it, and like when we got to Guardians, she was like, "This is weird. Like they're not on Earth, and it just doesn't really make sense to the storyline." And I was like, "Yeah, I guess you can see that. But like, it was funny because like when we saw those movies, like there was years in between.
Yeah.
Where we watched them all in like a weekend, and like so she was seeing the whole universe come together like all at once, and she was like weirded out by that. And I mean, I guess that's where I'm being a little hypocritical with like Captain Marvel, but like I still stand by. I don't like the timing of the movie. I don't like that it happened right before the greatest. What's supposed to be the end of an era, the greatest thing to come.
To be the like most disappointing movie in the last 20 years.
Exactly. It's
What
either
is?
Endgame could be the most disappointing movie.
It could not live up to the hype.
Imagine it's bad.
Like, could you imagine? What that would do? Like the whole MCU just.
I think they deserve the respect of just trusting that it's gonna be great.
I think it's going to be great, but imagine it's not. Imagine
if you worked this hard
it's like
to
The Last Jedi.
If you work this
It
hard
can't
to
be,
get
though.
to here.
They've mastered it.
Yeah.
That's like Yoda messing up the Force. It's like, yeah, you got it mastered, dude.
I enjoyed Solo though.
But
on a different topic.
Still have to
final
watch it.
thoughts of the ending of Endgame.
The ending of Endgame.
I don't know.
Personally, Cap sacrificed himself in a huge battle, whatever, and I think it ends at Tony Stark's wedding.
I think Cap's gonna wield Stormbreaker.
I don't think
Go out
Stormbreaker
in a
has the same
blaze of glory.
I don't think Stormbreaker.
I think
has
that
the
they
I don't think he's
create
gonna
something.
defeat.
They create something that defeats Thanos, and he's the one that yields it.
the super engine.
I would just walk out. I would just walk out, not say a word. I would walk home.
And I just feel like the beginning of Infinity War, the whole Tony Stark, like, oh, I had a dream we had a kid. She's pregnant. They're
Might
going to
not
get
be
married.
real.
I'm naming it
Oh,
Steve.
Infinity War.
If I had the gun to my head, you're like, tell me what's going to happen. And I'm going to go, they're going to end with Captain America dying and Tony Stark naming his first son Steve.
Yeah.
But also that girl from 13 Reasons Why,
Oh god, yeah.
the one who plays Hannah.
The
I don't know
whole.
if you ever saw that.
Maybe her middle name's Steve.
She's playing like an unknown role.
I think she's Cassie Lang.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
I'd be okay with
I
that.
think they made the Young Avengers.
What's your
'cause-
final thought? Too crazy to even tell?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just hope that it lives up to the hype at least a little bit, and we're not disappointed, because that would be disappointing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited. But
I just want Blaze of Glory, Cap, Iron Man working
Going
together,
out
just
and-
going all out.
Nice.
And I just, as long as Captain Marvel
It's a
just
good way to
kinda,
ruin my afternoon,
stays in
but-
her corner, if she just stays in her corner, we're going to be okay.
she's gonna save the day.
We're going to be okay if she just stays in her corner.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening to our first podcast in a while. Stay tuned to more, hopefully. This is Rock Review. We're out.
Bye.
Peace.